All right, here we go. Muscles, Magic the Gathering live. I'm actually just going to look off to my side computer and make sure we are officially live. It worries me when I go through this streaming process, but it appears we are live. It appears we are good to go. And today we are going to talk about the reemergence of the nastiest, the baddest, the most dangerous, the most dominating group, Kinfolk, Tribal, Typal, whatever you want to call it, group in Magic the Gathering history. We're going to talk about Slivers. I'm actually going to give you a sneak preview of the best Sliver deck you will ever see. I actually recorded 2 long-form videos on this today. One is going to be the top 10 Slivers in Magic the Gathering history. The other one is actually a deck tech on the Sliver. And why are we talking about Sliver so much? The reason is we have had some major spoilers come down the pipe from Edge of Eternities. There is a new card in the Sliver universe. I'm actually going to pull that up right now because it is absolutely incredible. It's called the Thrumming Hive Pool. All right. Now the Thrumming Hive Pool was revealed. We also found out we're going to get a reprint in special guests of the Sliver Overlord, one of my favorite Sliver cards of all time. So Slivers are back in a big way. And, I mean, honestly, you thought Edgar Markov was bad. You thought Eldrazi was bad. You haven't seen anything till you have seen Slivers. Slivers are a little bit old school. Haven't seen Slivers around in a long time, and you don't see a lot of Slivers decks. But I love them. My heart is black. My soul is evil. So you know I play with Slivers, and I absolutely love them. So today on this live, we're going to talk about my Sliver deck. I'm going to show you some of my favorite Slivers. We're going to talk about Edge of Eternities, a couple of spoilers that came from that. And we are also going to open a Final Fantasy Weapons from Secret Lair. And we're also going to open this beautiful Nuestra Magia from Secret Lair. I got a couple of these. So we're going to do an opening. We're going to talk Slivers. We're going to talk Edge of Eternities. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Love going live with you all. The best part of Magic the Gathering is the community. This has been a passion of mine for 31 years. I've absolutely loved Magic the Gathering. I started in 1994, right during Unlimited. Towards the tail end of it, actually, I was closer to 4th edition. So I've managed over the years to amass a massive collection. And this is a real passion of mine. Like, yeah, I love working out. I fought in the UFC. I won a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu World Championship. But my true love, Magic the Gathering. So thank you for spending some time with me. I got to hear from the viewers, though. What is your favorite spoiler that we are seeing in Edge of Eternities? And Brennan Ray, thoughts on the new pre-con deck list? I want to get one of those Secret Lair packs. My wife loves them. Secret Lairs are absolutely unreal. I'm a big fan of the Secret Lair product. I order a lot of them. So, yeah, I would go ahead. Now, my favorite pre-con, and I can't even remember which one it is called, but it is, I'm going to look it up right now. I really think Wizards made a bracket 4 pre-con. Like, genuinely, right? And it is called, the one I am talking about, I'm just looking it up here, the World Shaper. That is correct. And it does have a mass land denial card in it. So does that automatically make it a bracket 4? Right? Like, that's absolutely insane. Bracket 4 has no restrictions. Bracket 3, there's no mass land denial. But there's a mass land denial card in this this deck. So is it bracket 4? Like, I never thought we'd see the day with the bracket 4 precon, but here we are. Are you thinking of including any of the new angels in the in my Giada deck? Let's take a look. New angels. I got a side computer to look this stuff up. In Edge of Eternities. Let's see here. All right. Go to the IGN network. All right. Let's see what we got. So we're getting some spacecraft and planets. It's actually good to pull this up. Edge of Eternities spoilers. And by the way, this is how I spend most of my nights, looking stuff up on the computer, having fun. All right, visual spoilers. I actually really like this site to show me. All right, we got these lands. Vernal Fen, Festering Thicket. I think those are really, really good. The Scouring Swarm and Insect. Let's see here the actual angels that we are going to have. Hopefully this will load. As this loads, I'll take a minute and come hang out with you. Oh, there's some planets. Cosmogrand Zenith, the Human Soldier. This is really good. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose one. Create 2 1/1 white Human Soldier creature tokens. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. That's actually a monster card. So absolutely love that one. Chrome Companion. Beautiful little dog. Banishing Light. Oh, beautiful Eldrazi Temple. There's some great printings in this. Some really nice cards. I'm impressed. All right, let's go to MTG Goldfish and see what they've got going on here. Oh, Exalted Sunborn. So this is what you are talking about. All right. Flying, lifelink. If one or more tokens be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. They're making all these token doublers. That's absolutely insane. We have an Esteli Reclaimer. Flying, when this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. So Esteli's probably not going to make the cut, to be honest with you, on my Giada deck. All right. Exalted Sunborn will. In fact, Exalted Sunborn, I love these token doublers. That will make an appearance in a bunch of my Angel decks. So let's be clear about that. What else do we got here? Nick Zapata says Starfield Shepherd seems sick. Is the Ristic Sliver real? Let's take a look. Let's see what we got. There's some pictures here. Ooh. Halia Guided by Light looks like a good card. Oh, Thrumming Hive Pool. That's what I want to talk about. I love the Thrumming Hive Pool. I love Slivers. Check this thing out. Affinity for Slivers. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each Sliver you control. Slivers you control have double strike and haste, and at the beginning of your upkeep, create 2 1/1 colorless Sliver creature tokens. That card's going to be a monster in the Sliver deck, and I'll show you my Sliver deck in a minute. Starfield Shepherd. When this creature enters, search your library for a basic plains card or creature card with mana value 1 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand. It's actually pretty good. Too high of a casting cost for my Giada deck, though. There's a lot of good cards here. The high value ones, though, seem to be the End Stone, which is insane. Exalted Sunburn. Quantum Riddler. Earlbroyd, that's insane. That card at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put X 1/1 counters on each creature you control, where X is that creature's power. It's like a Bristly Bill, but better. Wild, that card. So someone's talking about the Ristic Sliver. All Sliver creatures have, whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless the player plays. That's insane. If that card is real, that would be absolutely insane. That can't be real. There's no way. A Ristic Sliver? Oh my gosh. I don't think that's a real card, to be honest with you. I never heard of that, but there's no way that can be real. If it was, I will get one ASAP. So, we're going to find out. What do we got here? There's Eldrazi Edge as well. Yes, no, the Ristic Sliver cannot be real. If it's real, I will go bananas. I wish Tezzeret could be piloted as a commander. Yeah, that would be great. That Tezzeret card is going in my artifact deck. There are Eldrazi, so we're going to get some Eldrazi updates, so super excited about that. So, first person to answer, I will go with your answer. First person, do you want to look at my Slivers, or do you want to open up Final Fantasy Weapons? All right, we'll save this one to the end. Do we want to open Final Fantasy Weapons, or do we want to talk about Slivers? What are we going to pick? And by the way, this is how I spend my Wednesday nights. I look online at Magic the Gathering stuff. I look at spoilers. I wanted to do a deep dive with you tonight, talk Edge of Eternities with my people, my crew, my like-minded individuals. But first person to answer, do we want to open up? Oh, Brennan Ray, Slivers. Okay, here we go. So let's look at slivers. You want to build a sliver deck, you came to the right place. So first of all, we have the two obvious choices for sliver commanders. We have the first sliver and the sliver queen. Sliver queen is not cheap. It goes for about 266 bucks. It's been spiking in price. Little pro tip for everybody. If slivers are going to be making a comeback, I would get my slivers now. You saw what happened during Tarkir, how all the old dragons started spiking in price. So I get on those now, honestly. But the sliver queen counts as a sliver, and then you pay 2 mana, and you don't have to tap it. That's the beauty of this. You do as many times as you want. Put a sliver token into play. Treat this token as a 1/1 colorless creature. So that is one of the choices for commander and sliver. And then the other commander is the first sliver. Cascade, and then sliver spells you cast have cascade. So the way slivers work is they just keep buffing each other up with all their abilities. And it gets really, really dark really, really fast if you're playing against slivers. So those are the first two. Those are what you would use for your commander if you're building a sliver deck. The first sliver is a lot less expensive. The sliver queen, that is a big price point. And I'm actually going to pull up my Moxfield as a companion. By the way, if you go to Moxfield, Bobby Maximus, all my cards are on my decks are on Moxfield right now. I have 57 commander decks, which I absolutely love. Let's load up the Moxfield now. I actually got to get it on my Chrome, so it's already preloaded. So let's see what we got. But yeah, the Sliver Queen is $266. I want to say the first Sliver goes for about 50 bucks, so it's actually fairly affordable, if you will. I think that's fairly affordable for a really good commander, personally. The Driller's Hives is what my deck on Moxfield called. Okay, actually, I was off on the first Sliver. It's $26.95, this version of it, so not bad at all. But yeah, that Sliver Queen is going to set you back $266, but super powerful in a Sliver deck. So those are the choices for your commanders for Slivers. So I'll leave those up here so new people viewing can see them. Now let's review some of the Sliver cards I have in my Sliver deck. The Sliver Hive Lord. Sliver creatures you control have indestructible. Great card. I'm going to put these up just a bit so we can see this here. All right. Beautiful card. Indestructible is really, really big with your slivers. We have the Sliver Grave Mother. The legend rule doesn't apply to slivers you control. Each sliver creature card in your graveyard has Encore X, where X is its mana value. And you see a lot of these slivers have this 5 casting cost. So you're going to want a Timeless Lotus in here. You're going to want to Morph on the Boundless. You're going to want that Gigink, the Wellspring card. There's a Joda that helps with this. So just keep that in mind. The Sliver Overlord, and this is being reprinted for special guests. Search your library for a Sliver card, reveal that card, and put it into your hand and shuffle your library. So it's basically a demonic tutor on a stick. Insane. This would actually be another great choice for a Sliver commander, to be honest with you. Dr. Clown says, I'm going to build the first Sliver. I have the MB2 version in Future Sight. Love it. Dr. Clown, you are on these lives all the time, so I really, really appreciate you, number one. I appreciate the friendship. I appreciate the companionship, but you're going to want to pay attention to this, and you're going to want to go to the Moxfield and check out the Driller's Hives. That's what the deck's called. Bonus points if you know what the Driller Hives is from. But I do have all the slivers in this deck, like all the best slivers. So if you're going to build a deck, pay attention. We have the Sliver Legion. All sliver creatures get +1/+1 for each other sliver on the battlefield. All right. So those are the big slivers and the ones with the big casting costs. But there's a couple other ones you want to make sure you include, all right? The Mana Weft Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Massive card in a Sliver deck. Do not sleep on this. And the Mana Weft Sliver right now is going for 83 cents. And another one that's going for 50 cents, the Gem Hide Sliver. All slivers have tap, add 1 mana of any color. All right, these two cards, Dr. Clown, they absolutely have to go in a sliver deck. They're super, super good, super, super inexpensive. Now, the beauty of slivers is they all stack on top of each other. It's actually not hard to build an inexpensive slivers deck. The expensive ones are going to be the Sliver Legion. That's $39. Sliver Overlord right now is 53. The Sliver Grave Mother is going to be 21. The Hive Lord is going to be only $6. That's actually fairly affordable. But like cards like this, you're looking at 50 cents. So that's not too bad at all. The Harmonic Sliver, another one that's only 46 cents. All slivers have, when this creature comes into play, destroy target artifact or enchantment. So it's basically a removal on every single sliver that enters the battlefield. The Cloud Shredder Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have flying and haste, and that one is going for $1.69. Crystalline Sliver. Slivers cannot be the target of spells or abilities. It's $1.48. Necrotic Sliver. Pay 3, sacrifices permanent, destroy target permanent, and that one goes for 22 cents. The Root Sliver can't be countered. Sliver spells can't be countered. That one's $7.02, a little more expensive. Predatory Sliver. Sliver creatures you control get +1/+1, 54 cents. Sinew Silver and the Muscle Silver do the same kind of thing, and those are cheap cards. They're both under $1. The Dregscape, 30 cents. Each Sliver card in your graveyard has Unearth. The Synapse Silver. Whenever a Sliver deals combat damage to a player, its controller may draw a card. And that one looks like it goes for $3.27. Like I said, all these are very, very inexpensive. The Sidewinder Sliver. All Sliver creatures have flanking. The Lazotep Sliver. The Thorncaster Sliver. The Quick Sliver. You may play Quick Sliver at any time. You can play an instant. Any player may play Sliver cards anytime he or she may play an instant. Bone Sky Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have double strike. All Slivers have Provoke. When a Sliver attacks, its controller may have target creature defending player controls and taps and block if able. Crypt Sliver. All Slivers have Regenerate target Sliver. Mesmeric Sliver. All Slivers have, when this permanent enters the battlefield, you may Fate Seal 1. Gale Rider Sliver. Super underrated. Sliver creatures you control have flying. I have Morphon the Boundless. Like I said, because of all these Slivers with the 5 casting cost, Morphon is a must in this deck, so make sure you include one. And that's a whole lot of Slivers. I actually have 27 Slivers in this deck, all right? And then I've got Eska, God of the Tree, just a little bit of extra mana ramp. I want a Birds of Paradise in here. I want a Bloom Tender. I want a Delighted Halfling. I've just got more of them. Coat of Arms, Door of Destinies, Commander's Sphere, Swiftfoot Boots, Eldrazi Monument, make everything flying. Why not? Gilded Lotus. I would rather have a Lotus Petal. I want to get that one from Sonic the Hedgehog. So that would be cool. I got a bunch of Talismans, a bunch of Signets. Timeless Lotus, that's got to go in here. All right, that's a Sliver-related card because of that. All right, the casting cost for all those big, bad Slivers, you're going to want that. Hivestone. Creatures you control are Slivers in addition to their other creature types. So if you're going to add cards like, and you're going to need, when you build a 5-color deck, you're going to need a Birds of Paradise. You're going to need a Bloom Tender. You're going to need a Delighted Halfling. You're going to need an Eska, God of the Tree. Creatures you control are Slivers in addition to their other creature types. You're going to want something like that. And then the final Sliver-related card that you're going to want here, and again, you can see the whole deck list if you go to my Moxfield, the Driller's Hives. Sliver Hive. Add 1 to your mana pool, and then add 1 to your mana of any color, or add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast a Sliver spell. Put a 1/1 colorless Sliver creature token onto the battlefield. Activate this ability only if you control a Sliver. So, yeah, this Sliver deck is insane. Let's look through all the Slivers again, and then we'll do... Actually, let's do a little opening, and then we'll go back to the Slivers. Someone's blowing up my text messages here. Let's see. All right, let's look at this. Here we go. Final Fantasy Weapons. All right, let's look at this before we get back to the Slivers. Let's open this up and see what we got. Well, I don't even know what the bonus cards here are. Does anybody know? This is like a surprise. All right. Okay, here we go. Put this just on the ground. All right. Staff of the Storyteller. Yuna's Sending Staff. When this artifact enters, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Whenever you create one or more creature tokens, put a story counter on this artifact, remove a story counter from this artifact, draw a card. Really good card. That's got to go in my humans deck for sure. Clive's Invictus Blade, the Blade of Selves. Equipped creature has Myriad. Umezawa's Jit, Cloud's Buster Sword. Beautiful. All right. Love that printing of the card. And Umezawa's Jit is a really, really good card. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage, put 2 charge counters on Cloud's Buster Sword. Remove a charge counter from Cloud's Buster Sword. Choose 1. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. Target creature gets -1/-1 until the end of turn. You gain 2 life. Gaia's Dark Hammer, the Colossus Hammer. Beautiful. Equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying. Titus's Brotherhood Sword, the Sword of Truth and Justice. Beautiful card right there. And it's got some Proliferate. This, I think, needs to go in my Proliferate deck, my Atraxa deck. That would be great. Arbinger Unleashed Forge Anew. When this equipment enters, return target equipment card from the graveyard to the battlefield. During your turn, you may activate equip abilities anytime you can cast an instant. You may pay 0 rather than pay the equip cost of the first equip ability you activate during each of your turns. Awesome. Beautiful little opening there. Final Fantasy weapons. All right. Now, have I ever done a CEDH tournament? Nick, CEDH isn't my thing. To be honest with you, if you look at my decks, I don't really have one CEDH worthy deck. I don't really play it. I build decks. A lot of mine are like I'd say a mid bracket 4 or a low bracket 4. I build to collect. So like if you look at my slivers, I'm not building this to be competitive in CDH. I have 2 slivers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 slivers, right? I'm building this deck to display all of my slivers, and that's the case with my zombie decks. It's the same with my goblin deck. Sometimes people will look at my decks, like they'll look at my goblin decks and they'll say, hey, why didn't you include this? Why didn't you include this? And it's honestly because I wanted to feature all goblins. So I try to build decks based on collectability versus, what's the word I'm looking for? Just playability. So I don't really play CEDH. Hopefully that makes sense to you. For the slivers, are there any kind of the changelings worth putting in? I honestly think the only one that you would want to put in is Morphon. Because Morphon really helps with that mana cost. And I'm looking for it right now. I just had it up here, right? Where did I put Morphon the Boundless? It's got to be in here. Does anyone know where I put it? Imagine I lost it. Can't be lost. Here it is. There we go. So Morphon the Boundless, that's one of the changelings. It is super useful. Why? Because of this casting cost. Because look, there we go. First sliver. What else? How many are like that in here? There you go. There are 5 cards like that so far that I found. We're going to have the Sliver Legion in here. Let me see where that is. Just get my cards in order. Sorry, Dr. Clown. I'm a little unorganized. All right. Where is the Sliver Legion? I just had it. This is making me mad. There it is. Okay, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with this casting cost of 5. Woobar or whatever it is. So Morphon the Boundless is going to help with these. So those are that's why I have that changeling in. But the other changelings, really what I want to focus on is sliver abilities that stack on other slivers. So I don't know if I would put like a Torian Mauler or the Changeling Outcast in here because they don't give bumps to my slivers. And the benefit of all the slivers is sliver spells can't be countered. Sliver creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a sliver deals combat damage to a player, its controller may draw a card. Like, that's why you want to put in slivers. So the changelings aren't going to really give you a bump to your sliver hive mind, if you know what I mean. So That's out on Slivers, but any more questions I am happy to answer. These Final Fantasy cards are beautiful. The art is unreal of them. I actually think the Secret Lair ones are nicer than the actual set. So now let's look at Nuestra Magic. All right. Any more questions? I am happy to answer. Sorry, I got a little distracted on the text messages. Just one of my kids is actually on a play date, so the mom was checking in on me. All right, let's put Slivers off to the side here. Now let's open Nuestra Magic, see what the bonus card in here is, and see what cards we got. I ordered a bunch of these. I think it was for a really good cause, and I get some beautiful cards that I can use in my decks. I absolutely love Secret Lairs in my decks. So I actually want to build a full Secret Lair commander deck. That would actually be really cool. Not one of the pre-bought ones. Like I'm talking like one I would construct myself. All right, Tireless Provisioner. These are the foil. Whenever a land you control enters, create a food token or treasure token. Sylvan Library. At the beginning of your draw step, you may draw 2 additional cards. This card is one of the best cards ever created in Commander, by the way. If you do, choose 2 cards in your hand, draw on this turn. For each of those cards, pay 4 life and put the card on top of your library. The Ancient Green Warden. You may play lands from your graveyard. If a land entering causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Expressive Innovation in an Izzet deck. This is monstrous. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand. Put one of them on the bottom of your library and exile one of them. You may play the exiled card this turn. So here's how this is going to work, right? Say you were to pick up 3 cards. The one that you're going to put into your hand, I'm going to put the Sliver Legion in my hand. I'm going to put the Sliver Overlord on the bottom of my library, we'll say, and then I will exile the land, and I can play that land this turn. So it's a really, really good way in real time. That's how that works to get a huge card advantage. Super underrated card. Xenagos, the God of Rebels. I actually have a Xenagos God of Rebels deck. That might need to replace it as the commander. Unreal. As long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7. La Madre Tierra is in a creature at the beginning of combat on your turn. Another target creature you control gains haste and gets +X/+X, where X is that creature's power. Lightning Greaves, useful in any commander deck ever. Soul Ring, beautiful Soul Ring, and a Soul Ring goes in any deck ever. Greatest mana ramp card of all time. My argument for the Mana Crypt being legal is that this card is legal. Beautiful food token, beautiful treasure token, and then I think this is the bonus card. Typal's Trickery. Counter target spell. Choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Its controller mills that many cards, then exiles cards from the top of the library until they exile a non-land card with a different name than that spell. They may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then they put exiled cards on the bottom of their library in a random order. Dr. Clown, the art is bonkers too. I don't know if you're talking about the Morophon, the Final Fantasy, or this beautiful Nuestra Magia set. Look at that Lightning Greaves. Love that. Ooh, I want to open them all just to see what I got for the bonus cards. So yeah, we did some Secret Lair openings. Here's a Secret Lair Final Fantasy again in case you're new and you missed it. All right, we got a couple of those. That Colossus Hammer I think is really, really cool. This Sword of Truth and Justice is really, really cool. This Cloud's Buster Sword is really, really cool. Yeah, these Secret Lair sets are awesome. And I am feeling pretty good today about this. We've talked about Slivers. I want to review those because that was the main topic of the show. The Edge of Eternity set looks absolutely insane. Let's take another look at some Slivers. Soul Ring not at least being a game changer is crazy work given the other game changers and ban cards. Nick, I agree. And that's why I think Jeweled Lotus should be legal and Mana Crypt should be legal. I actually had a friend join Magic for the first time, and they couldn't understand why Mana Crypt was banned and Soul Ring wasn't. They're like, don't you want a Soul Ring turn 1 instead of a Mana Crypt? And I said, yes, 100% of the time Soul Ring is better. My Moxfield username, JG, is Bobby Maximus. So Muscles and Magic the Gathering is, I'm Bobby Maximus. My fitness channel is Official Bobby Maximus. My Mox or my magic channel is Muscles of Magic the Gathering, but my name is Bobby Maximus. So look up Bobby Maximus on Moxfield and you will see my Sliver deck. Let's review these here. Sliver Overlord, Sliver Legion, Sliver Grave Mother. We have the Sliver Hive Lord. You taking notes, Dr. Clown? I had friends play for the first time, pulled 2 Achroma's Wills from Final Fantasy and give it to them both as a welcoming gift. You are a nice human. Turn 1 Soul Ring is bonkers. You are correct, Dr. Clown. Take notes. The first Sliver, the Sliver Queen, $266 card right there. The Sinew Sliver, the Muscle Sliver. We are just doing a clinic on slivers right now. The Dredgescape Sliver, the Sidewinder Sliver, the Lazotep Sliver, the Thorncaster Sliver, the Quick Sliver, the Bone Scythe Sliver, the Hunter Sliver, the Crypt Sliver, the Mesmeric Sliver, the Gale Rider Sliver. Do not sleep on flying in Commander either. I've had some really good Commander decks that don't have flyers that have been taken apart by lesser decks. Synapse Sliver, Predatory Sliver, Root Sliver, Necrotic Sliver, Crystalline Sliver, Cloud Shredder Sliver, Harmonic Sliver, Gemhide and Manaweft, 2 slivers you absolutely have to get, Dr. Clown. And get yourself a Morph on the Boundless, get yourself a Sliver Hive, get yourself a Hive Stone. So, slivers, love slivers. Before I sign off for the night, I've actually got a date with Final Fantasy IV, playing with Rydia, playing with Kain, Traitorous Dragoon, playing with Cecil, the Dark Knight. I'm actually about to redeem him and turn him into a paladin in Mount Ordeals. So I'm looking forward to going and doing that. But if you got any questions, I will stick around for another minute and answer them. Open these beautiful Secret Lair cards. I really think, oh, that's awesome, that expressive innervation. I really think the Lightning Greaves and the Soul Ring need to go in this Sliver deck. It's too bad I just filmed it this afternoon. I would have added these before I filmed it because they are just beautiful foil printings of the cards. And we open up the Final Fantasy, and it's honestly really, really good to see everyone. So, that's it for me. I think it's time to go see Rydia. I think it's time to go see Cecil. I think it's time to go see Kain, the Traitorous Dragoon. I had a blast with you, though. Hopefully, Dr. Clown, rate my Sliver deck on a scale of 1 to 10. Actually, let's play a fun game before I go, because I often do this. I want to see what other people think of my slivers. Let's see how I did in terms of adding slivers to this deck. So I'm going to go to the Google here. I am going to Google best slivers in MTG. Draftism, best 25s in best 25 slivers in Magic the Gathering ranked. Let's see how many of these I have. Ooh, this is exciting. All right, they have. This is good. This is good. I really like this. Oh, Nick, my Sliver deck is stronger. My Sliver deck will take apart my Eldrazi deck. Slivers are just too nasty. Now, if there's one way I would include my Sliver deck or improve it, I've got a bunch of these pathway lands. I got a bunch of these pain lands. I would like a whole cycle of dual lands in here. I just don't have any dual lands left. I've got close to 100 of them, but they're all in other decks. So, Draftism, super respected site on Magic the Gathering. They got the top 25 slivers article. I don't know when this was written. Let's see here. It looks like this was written in... Oh, it was last updated April 16th, 2025. Okay, so it's fairly new. Maybe they knew slivers was coming. But let's see what slivers they have as number one. So number one is the Sliver Queen. I know I have the Sliver Queen. All right, so let's see. There we go. They have number two, Gemhide and Manawef. So they value those high too, like I did. Okay. I like, see, I'm getting my thinking reaffirmed. I love when I'm on the same page as respectful people. So Gemhide and Manawith, I've got both of those. Then it's the Sliver Grave Mother and the Cloud Shredder. I do have the Cloud Shredder, and I do have the Grave Mother because I have all the big, bad, iconic slivers. I am batting 1,000 so far. Banner of Kinship's a great card. The next one is the first Sliver and then the Harmonic Sliver. So let's see. The first Sliver and Harmonic. All right. Next, Sliver Overlord and Crystalline. I know I have those. I have the Crystalline. And I have the Sliver Overlord. Oh my gosh, I literally am batting 1,000 with Draftism. This is excited. This is exciting. Sliver Legion and Sliver Hive Lord next. I have those. Boom, boom. The Bone Scythe Sliver. I know I have that one. Then they have Quick Sliver and the Thorn Caster. I have those. I'm killing it right now. Then they have Necrotic and Hunter. Man, we agree. Hunter. I know I have the Necrotic. There we go. Then they have Lazotep and Root. I have the Root. I have the Lazotep. Then they have the Gale Rider. And then they have all these grouped together. The Predatory, the Muscle, and the Sinew, which I agree with. I have all of those. Synapse and Diffusion. I have the Synapse. I do not have the Diffusion Sliver. See what that does. Diffusion Sliver gives ward-like defense for your individual slivers. It's actually really good. The Bladeback Sliver, I don't have that one. The Crypt Sliver, I have that one. So I'm missing a couple that they have in their top 25. The Dregscape, I have. 25, they have the Constricting Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have, when this creature enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. That's actually really, really good. I do not have those. Ooh! I don't have this one in here yet. Rukarmel Biologist. As Rukarmel Biologist enters the battlefield, choose creature type. Slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other creature types. This same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards that you own or earn on the battlefield. And then you can create a 1/1 colorless Sliver creature token. I need a Rukarmel. Like, absolutely. I wonder if I have one. Do I have a Rukarmel? That's the real question right here. I don't know if I have one. Do I have a Rukarmel, guys? Oh my gosh, I'm actually like peeking a little bit. I hope I have one. Dr. Clown, wait, what are you cutting anything for the new Sliver cards? I'll probably cut a Gilded Lotus for that Thrumming Hive Mind card. But then I got to see what all the other Slivers are. I'm not 100% up to date on what the full list is yet in full transparency, so I don't know what I'm going to cut. It certainly won't be like the Overlord or the Legion or the Queen or the First Sliver or anything like that. Nick also would love to either see a short or Insta post to see your best favorite pulls from all the Final Fantasy packs you open. That's actually a really good idea. I should do that. I do need some content, so I actually really, really, really like that idea. So I will do that. Let's see if we have a Rukarmel. All right. So I got my extra box of cards here. Stay a little longer. We'll look for a Rukarmel. This is blue and black. It's not what I want. This one is, I hope I have a Rukarmel. I will freak out if I do. Okay, here's my multicoloreds. Let's see if I have one. This is just my box of like extra cards. I don't know if I have one. Let's see. I do not see one. I bet you I'm going to have to order one because I actually don't think I have one of these. Nine Fingers Queen, King, that's not it. Man, I have a lot of cards from Ether Drift. I really like that set. Don't at me about it. I like it a lot. Do you have a digital record of your collection? How do you keep track of all that you have? I do not. I just put my decks on Moxfield. Everything else is in binders. Where I don't think I have a Rookerbell. That would actually be really good if I did enter all these digitally, because then I could just like figure it out. Oh, that card could go in the Sliver deck. Might keep that out. I didn't realize I had an extra one of those. Mentioned it earlier in the show. There's a Joda that really works well in this deck too. I wonder if I have one of those. All right. Let's see what we got. We're going to look for a Rookermel Nick, Wish Me Luck, or that Joda that I'm talking about. I haven't seen any yet. Oh, a Flame of Anor. That's a really good card. Nice little wrong Joda. It's a beautiful printing of it, though. Let's see what we got here. Agatha, no. Joda the Unifier, no. I think we're going to strike out. I don't think we have one. Dr. Clown, I don't use proxy cards. That's pretty cool, though, 3D printed a card. I don't use proxies personally, so that will not help me. So I'm going to have to order one of these because I don't think I have a Rookermel. If I have a Rookermel, I'm going to go crazy like I just pulled a Golden Chocobo. No Rookermel. I will go crazy for real like I pulled a Golden Chocobo if I get this. All right, guys, we're looking for a Rookermel biologist right now, and I don't think I have one. I'm looking through all my extra cards. These are all just a stack of gold cards, if you will. There's a Boromir. There's a Ramses Assassin. Rookermel, come on, or that Joda. Not Joda the Unifier. That's a wrong Joda. There is a Joda that helps you with mana for 5 mana creatures. No Rookermel. This is terrible. I thought I had one. Your gang thought I already had one of those in there, but that works really, really well. Struck out. Absolutely no Rookermel. We're done. We are done. If I would have found one, you would have heard me scream and cry and go crazy like I got a gold Chocobo. We do have a Mordor on the march. We do have an Optimus Prime hero. We do have a Lathril Blade of the Elves, but no Rookermel, sadly. But I do need it. This list on Draftism is really good. Draftism does some good work. What did they say about... Nothing. All right. I was hoping they'd tell me about new Sliver. So this has been a great live. I'm going to get going. It is 8 o'clock. I've spent a lot of time on here. Absolutely love you, though. There's no place I would rather be. But I do need to go and get Cecil to be a redeemed paladin. So listen, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you to every single person that's been on here. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for looking at my Sliver deck. I absolutely love it. Thank you for opening some cards with me. It's been an absolute blast. And yeah, the people in the Magic the Gathering community are unreal. I want to highlight Dr. Clown. First of all, you say thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for all the positive support. I appreciate the positive comments. I appreciate the positive support on the channel. You know, it was really hard for me to come forward and make Magic the Gathering channel. It's been a huge passion of my life for 31 years. And really, it was like the only private part of my life I had where people didn't ask me about this stuff in interviews. And it was like my thing. So to share it with the world, it was a big, big step for me, especially because I was bullied for this stuff a lot when I was a kid. So there's a lot of emotional feelings that get dug up when I talk about Magic the Gathering cards, and everyone's just been so welcoming. So really from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for that. To be a 14-year-old bullied kid getting his cards ripped up, and then to just be able to interact with people all over the world like this, it's really, man, it's really heartwarming. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm getting kind of tongue-tied right now, a little emotional. So thank you very much. I still got some secret layers to open. I'll open those next time. And Brennan, thank you for coming by.